Hey there, welcome to another episode of Fresh. My name is Nia Malika Dixon. I'm a writer, director, producer here in Los Angeles. I'm originally from Baltimore and I am a Black Muslim woman. And here at Audace Entertainment, we create quality content that is representative of Black and Muslim people. And our series on Fresh is a story lab that we've been running for several weeks now, for a couple of months. And this is where we talk about story in several television shows that are on various different streaming platforms where you can watch. Hey, welcome. And we talk about story as it relates to us as an audience, but also as it relates to creatives, because right now there's some really quality content, some great TV series that are online and on streaming platforms that are not only entertaining, but very exquisite examples of great storytelling. And just to give you a list of some of the series that we've talked about, some of my favorites include We Are Lady Parts, Blind Spotting, Ted Lasso, I May Destroy You, and the list goes on and on. And actually this week we're talking about a sitcom, and I've done one sitcom which was, I don't know, I wouldn't say it's a traditional sitcom, but Kenan, which was a very funny show that I enjoyed thoroughly. And this week's sitcom is not in the same category. I wouldn't put it myself in the same category because iCarly, which we're talking about this week, to me is a traditional sitcom. It harkens back to back in the day when traditional sitcoms had laugh tracks. And if you're a fan of iCarly and welcome, and you've seen the original, you'll know what I'm talking about. Now, just as a disclaimer, I haven't seen the original, but my kids have. And I need to just preface that I'm not the demographic for iCarly. However, I did find iCarly to be entertaining. Now, we focus on talking about story, and that's one thing that I really love to talk about. Like, I could go on and on about story. But iCarly is a little different. iCarly is very heavy on entertainment and funny, but not very heavy on story. And that's not a bad thing. And if, like I said, if you've seen the original, you'll know what the premise of the show is. There is this young girl named Carly, and she has a web show. And this reboot, or I guess a continuation of it, I should say, picks up in her adult life. So it's kind of like an adult version of the original. And the reason why I started watching it is because my son. So my kids are now adults in their 20s, and they've been watching it. And, you know, during the pandemic, you get to watch a lot of stuff. And I just caught an episode and I thought, that's kind of cute. I think I like it. Now, one of the actors really is the reason why I started watching it. And that's Lacey Mosley. She's so talented and she's so funny. And I saw her first on a Black Lady sketch show. And, you know, Miss Diva Lacey kind of really is the hook for me for this show. But let's just jump right into it. So what we do is we talk about shows and we talk about why they're good. And you know, although iCarly is not in the same vein as, I would say, Blind Spotting and Ted Lasso, it is quite entertaining. And the biggest reason is nostalgia. So the show is very much heavy on nostalgia, especially if you're a big fan of iCarly from 2007. There's even like a little throwback scene where she's doing a pose from a previous episode of the 2007 version of the show, which I thought was so cute. And what they also did was they brought in the next generation. So there's a character named Millicent who plays the daughter of the original Freddie, who was on the previous version, who's now an adult, and he produces iCarly's web show. And she's sort of like her nemesis and protege at the same time, which I found quite cute. The cool thing about it is there is a diverse representation of different skin tones, different hair, and I'm here for it. Also, Harper, who is Lacey's character, is pansexual, and so there's a diverse representation of I guess, sexual representation. So there's nostalgia, there's jokes, and true to the traditional sitcom format, there's also a laugh track. So you know when to laugh. But I'm here to say that the jokes are not, you don't necessarily need a laugh track to know. That's how great the jokes are. And you know what? I want to give credit to Francesca Ramsey, whom I follow on Twitter. And she's very talented and she's so funny. And it comes through in the writing. I can see her guidance. And she's one of the co-producers of the show. So shout out to Francesca. So iCarly, very entertaining, very nostalgic. And basically the storyline, from what I can glean, is that it's a social commentary on pop culture, mostly internet culture, giving us that throwback to like when iCarly first started off with her web show as a 12-year-old. Now she's 26 and she's doing another web show. So there's still that same commentary on internet culture. There's still that commentary on our social things that are going on in our world, except for the pandemic, which I thought was pretty hilarious. So like, this is the first series I've watched where they literally do not acknowledge the pandemic. And actually there were jokes written about the fact that they don't acknowledge the pandemic, which is so cute. So like any self-aware comedy, I think you get props for that. Like that's just cute. But going back to Harper, she brings the funny. Like, if you've seen her on a Black Lady sketch show, you know she's super talented. And she brings the funny, but she also adds depth with her character. Being the Black woman on the show, she also brings her style. She's a stylist, but she also has a backstory. She comes from a very wealthy, which I do have to say, watching the pilot, her character was the voice of exposition, which I gave a little ding for that. However, the way that she delivered it, I kind of took the ding back because she's just so cute. And if you like physical comedy, you're going to love the show because there is a plethora of it. And Harper actually dressed up in a bunny suit, which was kind of cute. Although iCarly did as well. But as you can see, Harper's my favorite character. But also Millicent, the young girl who plays Freddie's daughter, is also a great addition because she adds that next generation. Right? I took the ding back. I see you're paying attention. You know, if you're an entertaining segment and you make a mistake or you take me out of the story, you get credit for doing something to make up for that. So yeah, I give you credit for that. But, you know, getting back to Millicent, she's so cute, even though, you know, she's a little bit over the top with being Carly's nemesis. But that being said, this is a traditional sitcom, so you have to expect things to be a little bit over the top. And that goes back to the physical comedy with Jerry Trainer, who plays, you know, the big brother. He has a lot of physical comedy. I'm thinking about one episode where he literally blinded himself. So if you like physical comedy, you'll enjoy it. So there are great characters. There is that layer of different generations. There is that commentary, that social commentary that's really fun. But what I do want to say is they keep you coming back. So the way that the stories are woven together, like I said, it's not heavy on story. It's very much heavy on situations and how these characters respond to the situations. And that's where you get the comedy. And like I said, the characters are really great. Even though sometimes they're over the top, the comedy will keep you coming, and it's pretty addictive, actually. I got through 3 episodes, and I didn't even notice the loss of time. However, I think I was good at 3 episodes. But if you have kids who are in their 20s who, for nostalgia's sake, watch it, you will not be disappointed. It is entertaining. And if you've watched the original series, you're not going to be disappointed either, because it really does carry on that same comedic flair. And the characters are adults now, so you get those throwback moments where, you know, the situational comedy gives you like flashbacks to what their lives were. Also in an adult way. So you get to see them handle adult situations like weird dates And of course, Spencer, the big brother, he's still rich and he's still an artist. And one of my favorite episodes was the art gallery episode, where he literally creates this art exhibit, which is a commentary on internet culture, where Carly becomes a meme and Harper is selling t-shirts, and it's really cute. So like I said, brain candy, very entertaining, and you will not be bored. And what it lacks for story, it makes up for with comedy. The jokes are so funny, and it makes up for fun. Yes, you will enjoy yourself. So that's iCarly. And like I said, I'm not the demographic for it, but I really felt like I should talk about it because there is an audience for it, and every story has an audience. If you as a creator want to create traditional sitcom television, iCarly is a really good example to watch, to take notes on, because the setup for the jokes is near perfect. The execution of the physical comedy is so good, like especially, and I'm going to keep talking about Lacey, especially Lacey. Her timing is impeccable. And even Millicent, the younger character, her timing's pretty good too. And I want to say that the content is very relevant, and the song that Millicent created for that episode that I was talking about, that commentary on internet culture, where she literally sings about you're not going to have me educating you on how problematic you are unless you're going to pay me. And that is just like, that was so good. Like I enjoyed the song. So yes, go watch iCarly. You will enjoy it for the physical comedy. You will enjoy it for the various different characters who are quite entertaining. And you will definitely love Harper. She's my favorite. Shout out to Diva Lacey. And shout out to Francesca Ramsey. You know, being a co-producer on the show, I can see her influence, and she's very talented. Like, I can see the show really benefits from having her. And more shows need more Black women in them. Just saying. Bet on Black women. All right, everybody. So that was today's episode. iCarly, you will be entertained. It is fun. And next week we're going to talk about a different series. We'll probably be talking about something on Netflix, and that's all I'm going to say. Something that's really popular right now that I definitely want to check out. And if there's a show that you think I should be talking about, please DM us and let us know. Next month is my birthday month, and we are switching from television to film. Hey, Ricky, nice to see you. Yes, agreed. I'm so glad you agree. Yes, iCarly is really entertaining. But next month, we're going to shift away from TV series. And if you've missed any of the previous episodes where I talk about other series, do go back and watch, because I've talked about another sitcom. I've talked about sci-fi. I've talked about an action series, The Equalizer. And I noticed there's a pattern. I like the fact that a lot of these series have women of color in the lead, specifically Black women, and I really dig that. But the next series I'm going to be talking about has a woman of color in the lead, and she's a young actor, and that's all I'm going to say. And I want you to tune in next week. But for September, we are shifting to film, and I already have a list of films that I'm going to be talking about for the fall. However, we have 4 empty slots. So I want you to tell me what you think I should watch and what you think I should talk about. And I'll give you a hint. The first film that I'm going to be watching for a film series is The Green Knight. I've just heard too many great things about it, and I definitely want to check it out. The Green Knight is on the list. Fast Color is on the list. If you're not familiar with that, go ahead and hit up imdb.com to check it out. Gunpowder Milkshake is on the list. Just letting you know what's already on the list. And then you can DM us what you think we should be watching and talking about for the fall when we talk about films. All right, thank you for tuning in. I really enjoyed this conversation, and I look forward to us talking next week when I come back, and that's all I'm going to say. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Have a great day.